news we're tracking at this point of time. Supreme Court is examining a report constituted to look into allegations of unauthorized surveillance using Pegasus. Technical communication says that out of 29 phones examined, 5 contain some malware, but there is no conclusive evidence that Pegasus malware was found. So that's a big news coming in at this point of time, where there's a top court order saying that no conclusive evidence on the malware. Rhythm is joining me to take us through this big developing story. Rhythm, take us through the top update we are getting, because this is an issue which we have been tracking very closely, the Pegasus issue, where now they're saying that no conclusive evidence that Pegasus malware was found. What are the repercussions of this study report which has come out?
Let's tell our viewers that the Supreme Court has today examined the report that was constituted to look into allegations of unauthorized surveillance using Pegasus. The technical committee says out of 29 phones examined, 5 contain some malware, but there is no conclusive evidence that Pegasus malware was found. The report of Justice Ravindran has also recommended certain things, that is enhancing and improving the cyber security of citizens, establishment of mechanism for citizens to raise grievance, setting up of private agency to investigate all of these. Now, the Supreme Court has said it will ascertain these portions of the report that can be made public. The bench will hear the case within 4 weeks, and the Supreme Court has also right now stated that enhancing and improving the cyber security of citizens for establishment of citizen mechanism for citizens to raise grievance, setting up a private agency to investigate all of this is the very crucial thing. So what in a sense we are getting from the Supreme Court today is the this committee now having said that there was no conclusive evidence that Pegasus malware was found. That is very crucial that this has happened in the top court of the country where this case was being heard. And the Supreme Court has very clearly been told that there is no conclusive evidence. There are technical issues. They will be looking at this particular report later on. It's a huge report. The Chief Justice said it's concluded that 5 phones had poor cyber security. They're reading out the parts of the report in the Supreme Court where the Chief Justice's recommendation for mechanism to submit grievances is there. Technical committee report, we are a little concerned. It appears 29 phones were given. They found some malware. 5 out of 29 had malware, but they're not saying it is due to Pegasus. So the Supreme Court is as of now being told that there seems to be no conclusive evidence that in fact Pegasus software had been used. And a big breaking news that's coming in shows that this entire issue where they were talking about Pegasus snooping started in July 18th last year. Very, very crucial, because the top court now stating that there is no such evidence. In fact, the Chief Justice also saying the report is submitted in 3 parts. One is the technical committee on parts of 61A, 2 is the report of technical committee on 61B, and report of the overseeing judges on 61C. However, they've also now, after stating everything, gone on to say that there seems to be today no conclusive evidence to show that Pegasus had in fact been used.
Right. Also, we are getting to know that the Supreme Court will now decide what parts of the report can be made public. Why exactly is the Supreme Court going to decide on that, Rhythm? Because what we are learning is that some people who are submitting the devices for inspection have asked for its contents not to be revealed to the public, Rhythm.
See, the news that the news that's coming in from the Supreme Court that becomes very, very crucial is the Supreme Court saying that the directed a panel of experts to investigate this, and now they are saying the committee observed that it is not due to Pegasus. This row was there over the Israeli spyware Pegasus being used for targeted surveillance in India last year, and it came to be questioned several times over. But today the Apex Court has also said they've also said that the technical committee appointed by the Supreme Court had issued a public notice asking citizens to come forward. All those details had been taken into place. And finally, the Supreme Court today has been told that there is no conclusive evidence. The malware that was found in Pegasus is not necessarily due to Pegasus, is what has been said. They were saying that it was no conclusive proof that the spyware was found in 29 phones. The forensic analysis revealed 5 phones were found to be affected. Taking on record the panel sealed report, Justice Ramana has also This was headed by Justice Ravindran, constituted to investigate the misuse of the Pegasus software. And it's now going to be heard within 4 weeks, and the registry will be giving a date for the next date of the hearing.
Right. So the report, the top court is saying the report is submitted in 3 parts, 2 parts of the technical committee and 1 report of the overseeing committee by retired judge of the Supreme Court. So Rhythm, if you could just help us understand a little bit more that how important this report is when it comes to cracking the Pegasus Snoop Gate claims, and who are these 29 people whose phones have been scammed? Do we have any details on that?
Started last year when there was this alleged row that there had been snooping by the government. The Supreme Court had then appointed a committee that was being headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Ravindran. And the Chief Justice had said that 29 phones had been submitted for analysis. The malware was found on 5. But the crucial point that has been said today by the Supreme Court is it is not a case that it was due to Pegasus. In fact, the Supreme Court, as it is hearing this, had also said that in October last year, they directed a panel of experts to investigate whether the government used military-grade private Israeli Pegasus spyware for surveillance, and it was found no conclusive proof was there that spyware was found in 29 mobile phones it examined. They also took into record everything that was said. This case is going to come up within 4 weeks when they will examine what has been stated by the government.
All right, Rhythm is getting us all the top updates at this point of time. What we are learning so far, viewers, are the top updates coming in on the Pegasus Snoop Gate games. 29 phones were examined and the malware was found in some phones, but no conclusive proof of Pegasus spyware. That's the big news coming in, that there's no conclusive proof of Pegasus spyware being found. The Supreme Court bench has said this, and it's added that the committee has said that in fact, Rhythm is joining me to help us understand what we can expect next. Rhythm, over to you.
Let me also go across to Advocate Kapil Sankla, who's joining us on the phone line. Kapil, a huge outrage had been caused when certain people said that Pegasus software had been used by the government. But the news clearly coming in today when the Supreme Court gives a setback to this particular theory and says that the report by Justice Ravindran's committee shows there was no conclusive proof to see that Pegasus had been used.
You're absolutely right. This is what we have read. And interestingly, you see, there is nothing wrong with that because courts are court of inquiry as far as facts are concerned, and Supreme Court is a court of law where the law is free. Section 45 of the Evidence Act is very clear as far as what an expert evidence is. So it seems that no expert evidence or no tangible expert evidence was brought to the notice of the Honorable Supreme Court. And therefore, the Honorable Supreme Court said that, there has been some malware that has been found, but there is no evidence to show that this was Pegasus software or that Pegasus software had infected the numbers that were claimed. So without any evidence before the court and without there being any expert evidence before the court could not have come to any other conclusion. So there was a lot of hullabaloo that was raised and there was a lot of hue and cry. But when you go to the court, you cannot actually go on optics. You have to go on law. And since this matter was devoid of law clearly, and there was no expert evidence clearly that was, as I said, tangible in nature, that could be used by the court, could be seen by the court has come to a conclusion that no software which is Pegasus in nature seems to have infected these mobile phones. And the 2 mobile phones which they show that there was some kind of malware, it is not shown that this was Pegasus in nature. So it is a landmark judgment. It's a great judgment as far as the law before the Supreme Court is concerned. And as far as the issue pertaining to Pegasus is concerned, because it was all over the news and the opposition was also crying foul about it. So I'm glad that it has reached its logical end in the Honorable Supreme Court.
Absolutely. Let's tell our viewers that this is happening, Kapil. Like you rightly said, where the Supreme Court today has been told by Justice Ravindran Committee that there is no conclusive proof that the spyware was found in the 29 mobiles it examined. It's a setback to the claims that Pegasus Snoopgate had happened and this particular software had been used by the government. The forensic analysis revealed 5 phones were found to be affected by some malware, but the panel said it was unclear if it was Pegasus. Taking on record the panel sealed report, the Chief Justice, Justice Ramana, noted the government was going to be looking at this. They were going to be looking at this matter. It had submitted its final report in July. Within 4 weeks after they've examined it, they shall be looking at this case. Yes, within 4 weeks. So the Supreme Court said it is going to be ascertaining those portions of the report that can be made public. The bench will hear the case after 4 weeks. And they've also said that the report of Justice Ravindran has made several recommendations that are for enhancing and improving cyber security of citizens, establishment of mechanism for citizens to raise grievance, setting up of private agency to investigate all of these. But the news point that's very critically coming in today, the Supreme Court has been told by the Justice Ravindran Committee no conclusive proof that spyware found in the 29 mobiles it examined. They've also said in 5 mobiles there was some malware, but there's nothing to prove it was Pegasus. So the news that's coming in is that these claims and bogus claims by a certain concerted, motivated lobby have fallen flat. It's a setback for them because the Supreme Court is going to consider the case within 4 weeks, and what they have before them is details of a report that says that Pegasus has not been found conclusively.
Right, Rhythm. So it's a big setback to Pegasus Snoopgate claims. And when this setback is coming in, it's very, very clear that those 29 phones, no conclusive evidence has been found of the Pegasus as spyware. Just to put the story in perspective, Rhythm, help us understand how important this case really was. Because for a very, very long time, there was a lot of speculation that the spyware from the Israeli firm NSO was used to target many people around the world. All right, Gaurav Bhatia is joining me on the phone line. Mr. Bhatia, thank you for joining us. What's the reaction coming in? Because this is coming as a big setback to Pegasus Snoopgate claims, which are made by certain groups.
Observations made by the Honorable Supreme Court after perusing the report which has been submitted by experts in the field clearly is a tight slap on the face of the Congress party and the opposition parties that were trying to artificially create an environment of fear. They were trying to spread propaganda that citizens' privacy is being invaded, and they jeopardize national security as well. Now today the Honorable Supreme Court has made it very clear that there is no conclusive proof that the software has been used to intrude into the privacy of the citizens. Why shouldn't Rahul Gandhi come out and apologize now? That is the question. Why dirty politics over an issue pertaining to national security? That is the question.
Right. Gaurav Bhatia, also now that going forward, what do you think is going to happen next politically now with the Supreme Court also saying that there's no conclusive evidence coming out? And this, in fact, Gaurav Bhatia, is a very, very strong statement coming in from the Supreme Court itself that some malware was found in those 5 phones, but no conclusive evidence it was a Pegasus software. And can you just tell us a little bit more about what you think, how this really sets the precedent going forward from this point of time?
You are absolutely right. This artificial environment that was being created, and I remember the Congress spokesperson and leaders coming out and trying to instill fear in the mind of the citizens of the country, especially women, saying that your phone is being spied upon. You can't take it inside the house and the bathroom. And now today, when the Honorable Supreme Court has said that there is no conclusive proof, will Rahul Gandhi apologize? Why couldn't you wait for the verdict of the Supreme Court? Why couldn't you wait for the expert committee to give its report? Why were you indulging in such petty politics without an iota of evidence? only on the basis of conjectures and surmises?
Right. All right. Thank you, Gaurav Bhatia, for joining us there, BJP spokesperson, on this big breaking development that we are getting for you right now. I'm getting here now is joining Mukesh Chaudhary with us, cybersecurity expert. Thank you for joining us, Mukesh Chaudhary. Help us understand, even though the Supreme Court there has clearly said that the malware found in 5 phones, but no conclusive proof that it had spyware. Help us really understand how important this is when it comes to the cybersecurity angle, Mr. Chaudhary.
First of all, thank you for having me. So basically, I haven't gone through the entire report till now, but whatever information I have as of now, on the basis of the same, I am giving my quote. First of all, this decision on the basis of the report of the expert committee that this much number of phones were analyzed and there was no malware or spyware identified on those mobile phones. This conclusion means there were no spywares or malwares on those phones. That doesn't mean that government was taking such kind of service or not. That is my opinion. Second is we need to check whether NSO group has given any official statement or not, whether they were approached and their official quotes we have or not, whether Israel government has given any submission on the same or not. That is another angle that can also be checked.
All right.